So you were probably expecting me to introduce the video and everything, introduce my name, and say what part of the series we're on and what series that we were playing, right? Well, this here is a little tidbit of information about the video that you are about to watch. I fucking hate OBS. And I hate how it puts the microphone and the game audio on one separate volume track. This does not allow volume panning or anything of that nature. So this following video, you will barely be able to hear what I'm saying. So I don't blame you if you want to click off of the video. But just take note, the volume levels are really, really fucked in this video. So without further ado, here is the Orchard of Stray Sheep. Hey there guys, how's it going? OIHighRoller here once again, bringing you some more of the Orchard of Stray Sheep. And yeah, apparently we are done with the prologue. We are now going on to episode 1. In front of me, there are 4 pairs of glittering eyes, being stared at with such innocence and frank curiosity. It is no wonder that I am being petrified with my back facing the chalkboard. It's not a spider or a monster that's watching my every move. The eyes belong to 4 young girls. 4 young girls from a small academy on Rhode Island. Why do I get the sense of a fucking Dojin plot with this? Like, it's an academy on a secluded island. Never mind. We have class, so get on that. Yes, sir. Okay, so who is who? Who is Lang, and who is Ishiro? I don't fucking know. I have a feeling that that's Lang. And I guess this is who we are. This is Ishiro. Now that my senior colleague is getting on my back, I'm left with no choice but to open my mouth. What the fuck are we doing here? Due to the shock earlier, I have already forgotten the cookie cutter self-introduction I had come up with before coming into the classroom. Yeah, hello. I'm a teacher who's starting at this academy today. I'm Ishiro Yamada, one of the dregs of humanity. It's a traditional, very common Japanese name, just as my name implies. I'm a boring, a dime a dozen scumbag. It's so gloomy. I never did understand why they have like numbers above their head. I was born a small countryside village. Since I grew up surrounded by nature, I have a very pure heart. I'm a spiritual guy, so I treasure the bonds that tie people's hearts together. My friends on the internet are my best friends. Sounds like me, man. So he doesn't have friends? A few days ago, the academy's principal suddenly ordered a precariat like me to come to this remote island to become a teacher. And so here I am, with nothing but the clothes I was wearing. Don't you think they're treating me really poorly? I'm an apolitical, lackey kind of guy who can't tell right from left and who believes in a geocentric model. Nice to meet y'all! Mr. Lang, your turn to introduce yourself. Oh, that's the fucking guy. Suji. Whoever Suji is. Very well. He ignores me without so much as a chuckle. Everyone has already moved on to the other new teacher's introduction without as much as a clap. Hello everyone, my name is Lang Hai. I just started here at this academy, so there are a lot of things I'm not used to yet. I would appreciate any help or pointers you could give me. Thank you. He bows slightly and everyone starts clapping in response. As Lang just said, neither of them knows much about this academy yet, so be sure to help them out when you get the chance. You two in particular, Boros, Zester, and Peeler. Oh yeah, or Zester, that's one fucking name. Yes, I understand. Yes, okay. Well, let's get started then. Lang, Yamada, why don't you two sit in the back and watch? I trot to the back of the room and sit down while everyone else stares at me. Ignoring my discomfort at the stairs, my contemporary calmly waltzes to a seat. Well then, what does Article 1 of the Constitution say, Yamada? Wait, me? I just sat down and somehow all eyes are on me. All eyes are on me again. Hell, what's the point calling on the new teacher? Half of the students in the class are new, so there are bound to be things they don't know yet. Besides, since you are here, you might as well set an example for the students. Casserole and mincer, huh? The two new students are looking at me. According to what Matsuri told me, each new teacher here is in charge of looking after a new student, one-on-one. In other words, I'll be responsible for one of the two of them. I suppose I should be serious and put my best foot forward. I knew it. I knew he had high hopes for me. Guess this is my chance to make up for the blunder just now. I love you, Mr. Tsuji. He frowns and glares at me. His scowling face looks even stiffer than earlier. It feels as though a sudden chill has filled the classroom. Well, though I say that, the sunlight is still shining brightly through the windows. I guess that's enough. Everyone is given the chance to repent. That's what Article 1 is. Wow, you girls know how Mr. Tsuji just gave me a chance to set an example for you. That's like the perfect example of this article in practice. In this country, it symbolizes the belief that all humans are innately good and that they can be guided through education and punishment. You could also say that this Constitution was written specifically to realize the idea of the world where everyone is good. In reality, I couldn't care less about good and evil in the Constitution bullshit. If you ask a delusional, self-conscious scumbag like me to describe people with a metric as binary as good and evil, I'm all cool with it as long as it doesn't affect me. Hell, as long as I can relax and live my life with myself, no problemo. Not that I don't hate myself. You're a funny guy. Yeah, I get that often. So, there you have it. This country believes in innate goodness. It's the belief that people were not born evil, but rather acquire evil ideas because of things that happen to run into their own environment. In our case, our society is the environment. The country is responsible for the behavior of the citizens upon which that society is established. And that's how the everyone is given. And that's how that everyone... I don't fucking know, I can't read with typos. Is given a chance to repent idea came to be part of the Constitution. The country, as the root of evil, lets its people make up for their crimes and forgives them, and that becomes their salvation. Mr. Tsuji follows that up by jabbering about the rest of the Constitution and scribbles its fundamental concepts on the board. The lecture bores me to no end. I manage to stifle a yawn and rest my head on my elbow. Just then, something pokes me in my side. I turn and find my knowledgeable-looking compatriot is looking my way. Ishiro, is it? Just, who are you? I don't remember seeing you during job application exams and interviews. Hey, Four Eyes, calling me by my first name right off the bat? What are we, friends now? Learn some manners. Why don't you tell me who you are first before asking me about my life? I think I'd say that between us, you're the one being rude here. Well, fine. My name is Langhai. Born back on the mainland. Out of everything in the world, I adore my brother back home the most. And I take pride in the fact that he's the cutest person in the world. No. Just no. Oh, by the way, I don't mind if you call me Lang. You're a lot more easygoing than you look. Well, I think your appearance belies your personality too. Leave me alone. What I said about how I got here is true. Seriously. I know the principal, and she basically ordered me to become a teacher here. That's why I don't have any exams or interviews. Oh, call me whatever you like. He giggles. What? Nothing. I was just thinking that there really is no telling what kind of person someone is just by looking at them. That's so. Sadly, it seems this guy's exactly the kind of person that I have the most trouble dealing with. Having always tried to get my sister's attention, there's just no way for me to hate an older brother type like him. Hell, it just makes me want to depend on him. But hey, we started our jobs on the same day. I look forward to working with you. Yeah. When I was still a student, I had always waited eagerly for the school bell to ring. Yet, its ring today makes me feel somewhat lonely. Ishiro, Lang, a moment. It's noon. I would love to head to the cafeteria and enjoy lunch just like the students, but instead I find myself being dragged into the staff room. The students you two are going to be responsible for have been decided. Spend some time with them in the afternoon. I'll leave it to you to determine when. Lang, you're in charge of Mincer. Yes. The image of the girl with the braided blonde hair flashes in my mind. She looked pretty intellectual and well-mannered. Since Lang got her, that must mean... Ishiro, you are taking care of Casserole. Casserole? It's the black-haired girl who looked somewhat depressed. Mincer and Casserole. Speaking of which, Mr. Suji, I haven't heard yet. Who are you looking after? Oh, I am in charge of Horace Zester and Peeler. Shit. So the girl with glasses who appears to be in the class president type and the quiet, dark-skinned girl. So you are in charge of both of them? Speaking of which, why are the students all named after kitchenware? No idea. I wasn't the person who picked their names, you see. The principal chose their names when they enrolled. I think they used their real names, musical instruments, a couple decades ago. It probably doesn't really mean anything. By the way, I haven't met the principal since my interview. What kind of person is she? She's pretty strict. That's all I know about her. What about you, Ishiro? You said you'd known her for a while, no? What is she like? Well, she's harsh. I don't know and don't want to know any more than that. It's probably best that you don't know. And that's the kind of person she is. I'm not sure I understand. It's okay, Lang. The principal said she wanted to have a chat with the two of you after work today. I'm sure you'll get a feel for her then. A chat? Did you mean an interrogation? Nope. A fun little chat, it seems. His intonation tells me that he meant, yeah, something like that. Oh, man. It seems Mr. Suji knows what kind of person she is as well. Well, they're co-workers, so, of course. Well, that's all I have for you. Spend some time with your students this afternoon and get to know them. Just don't go beyond your duty as teachers. Well, that's a shame with all these chicks here. Are there any rules here that says that teachers and students can't get into that kind of relationship? Nope, not at all. All this academy asks for the students is that they are happy, and it is our role as teachers to support them. As long as that is satisfying, the relationship between the student and teacher doesn't matter. You can even hug them if you deem it necessary. Just approach them with respect to your duties. This is not a warning or an order. Think of it as advice from someone with more experience. Phew! Instinctively, I whistle out loud. I never would have imagined that a public institution where teachers may freely hug students existed. What the fuck, dude? I haven't told Casserole and Mincer about this yet. Look for them, and tell them yourselves. I'm looking forward to seeing the job well done. He bluntly waves goodbye and leaves the room. That's quite a hands-off policy they have here. It's a pretty shady school if you ask me, so it's accordingly arbitrary. That's not a satisfying explanation, but I'll take it if it makes our lives easier. What are you going to do now, Ishiro? What the old man told me to. I'll start by finding this Casserole girl. Oh, even though you haven't had lunch yet? You sure are a vigilant fellow. I was thinking of heading to the cafeteria to fill myself up first. Or I suppose I can take some food and a sheet with me, and have a fun picnic with Mincer during the afternoon. You really are an idiot, aren't you? I get that pretty often. I think you're a little too rigid, though. Better relax and take a breather. Well, okay, I'll see you after school. With a brisk yet obnoxious smile on his face, he disappears into the hallway leading to the cafeteria. Now, what should I do? I try to come up with a few possibilities, but I just don't have any idea where this Casserole girl could be. I suppose rather than wandering around the unfamiliar academy, it would be smarter to wait for her in the classroom. Yeah, I suppose that's my best option. Like the serious piece of trash scumbag I am satisfied with the conclusion I have arrived at my shallow, offhanded logic, and walk toward the classroom. The clattering of the sliding door echoes throughout the quiet room. Just as I expected, no one is there in the classroom. I scratch my head and sit down on a random seat. Then, I take my trusty portable device out of my pocket. may be old, but the devices as of late are packed with so much unnecessary bloat. This is just perfect. I can text, make calls, and look at web pages. That's all I need. I tap an icon on the home screen to bring up the communication network app that used to be very popular long ago. First day of work and already over. Fuck my life. There we go. Not a minute after I tweeted that, popped up next to my comment, then a reply comes in. Must be a PETA. Hang in there. What? Alright, thanks, I will. As I have been doing this for more than 10 years, I can swipe on the virtual keyboard and compose my messages very quickly. From an outsider's point of view, it must be saddening to see me staring at my portable device and grinning all by myself in an empty classroom, but I just can't help it. After all, this guy, handle name Cherubim, is my one and only friend. I am well aware that it is quite out of the ordinary for an online friend to be one's best friend. To tell the truth, it pains even me sometimes. But he's the only one left that I've known since I was young. Both my father and my sister are no longer here. It can't be helped. I think dearly of the guy, not from a logical point of view, but from an emotional point of view. Yeah, that's right, you're just going to like the things you like. There ain't no other way, baby. Fuck yeah. Huh? When I hear that cute shriek coming from the back of the classroom, I finally come to my senses. Casserole, the girl in question, had fallen down and landed on her backside. Her eyes clearly shocked, dumbfounded, or fixed on me. Does she have a number above her head, too? Can't really make it out. I think she does. Her legs must have given way when she heard my strange spiel. It's okay, don't be afraid. If we take where we are and how this looks into account, then saying something that could cause irreversible harm to forming any kind of bond. I'm sorry I keep on stuttering like I can barely see it, like the brightness on my screen is kind of fucky because like with the green screen and everything and having like these lights glaring on my eyes, I'm kind of seeing spots right now. And like when you stare at a light bulb or the sun or just some really bright light for too long of a period of time, you start seeing like blotches and shit. That's what I'm seeing right now, so it's kind of hard for me to read. But well, I'm a teacher. I should be okay. And I don't look that bad anyway. Her reaction is more extreme than if she were grossed out or disgusted. Rather, she's probably more along the lines of terrified. Well, I've been yelling like a madman ever since my self-introduction. Of course she is. It'd probably put me off if someone did that to me. I start regretting my extreme behavior. I take a breath to calm down. I'm sorry, that was all a joke. You haven't had lunch yet, have you? What's up? Mr. Lang came to the cafeteria and said you were probably here waiting for me. That son of a bitch. We haven't even known each other for a day yet, and it seems he has already a good grasp of my character. It makes me fear that perhaps it's quite easy to see through that self-loathing mask of mine. What a formidable guy. I'm thinking more and more highly of him. What's the matter, Ishiro? You're smiling. Oh, nothing. Just thinking that Mr. Lang is a mysterious guy. I know very well that there is nothing to gain from taking interest in others, but sadly, it seems I've already taken a liking to him. Guess I'll have to be more careful. If a scumbag likes me take a liking to anyone, it's going to bring them nothing but trouble. I've already gotten a very good taste of that one that day. If I'm supposed to play the role of Hero, then a hero I should be. Anyway, I guess now is not the time to be thinking about this. Did Mr. Lang tell you why I'm looking for you? No, well, I'm sorry. The girl smiles dejectedly and then lightly bows her head. You're sorry? Why? I thought since you asked me to come here, I must have done something bad. Anything come to mind? No, but it seems like I was bothering you while you were enjoying yourself. Perhaps I offended you without realizing it. Casserole, the girl whom I will be interacting with frequently from now on, looks down at the ground disheartened. It seems she's much more sensitive than I expected. I suppose I will need to pay extra attention when I deal with her. Then I come to realize it actually hurts pretty bad for someone to calmly tell you you are enjoying yourself. It's very effective. At any rate, I suppose I should stay calm and observe this casserole. While I have as natural of a conversation as I can manage, The reason I was waiting for you is because I have something to tell you. You have something to tell me? Astonished, she tilts her head. Her charming movements are heartwarming, but if you look at it another way, she looks as though she's trying to flirt with you. She feels very much like the kind of person who people dote on often, or someone who relies on others. Yeah, but before that, casserole. No, Cassie. Eh? Do you mind if I call you Cassie instead of casserole? No, I don't mind. She doesn't seem to feel put off or affected in the slightest by using her name. It seems it doesn't bother her when others are friendly with her all of a sudden. She may look introverted, but perhaps she's just being reserved because she hasn't gotten used to the academy yet. Perhaps she's actually a social, joyful person. I walk toward her, step by step, as to not frighten her. As she had been sitting on the ground all this time, I reach out my hand and pull her up. Thank you very much. She didn't seem that nervous when I grabbed her hand, or when I pulled her up either. I suppose she doesn't really care too much about personal space either. Before I tell you, let me ask you something first. Would you prefer to stay inside or go outside? Well, spring is in the air and it's warm outside now. I prefer outside right now. It's as I expected. She's extroverted and sociable. Well, why don't we go on a date outside? A date? The tone she used may have had a hint of surprise in it, but she doesn't sound or look too affected by it. It feels as though she's acting surprised to judge the situation instead of showing any genuine interest in the male-female relationship. Taking all that into consideration, it seems this girl, Cassie, is actually a very lively and sociable kid. But, well, humans aren't so simple that they can be completely understood by just simply observing them. No, more like, I don't want to think that there are any living beings out there that are so simple-minded they can be understood solely by observing. Involuntarily, I stretch myself and return to my previous can't-be-asked pattern of thinking. After all, my motto was don't think. Well, the weather today is just fine. Let's relax outside. But what about class? It's okay, don't worry. Firmly grabbing Cassie's hand, I whistle and take her to the benches at the courtyard. So he's just casually, walking, holding her hand. A flock of fluffy clouds is floating in the sky, the sun shines. Nice. Comfortably cool breeze blows past us. Man, one couldn't ask for more perfect weather on such a fine day. I'm sitting on the school's courtyard. And you know, Ishiro, I really think this school is a clone manufacturing facility. What? What? And then her number just dropped us like 15 now. Cool. I've only been in school for a few hours and already she's passionately espousing some barely comprehensible conspiracy theory. Ishiro, do you know exactly what the purpose of this academy is? Well, I may be a scumbag, but I'm still a teacher to me. There's no regular start date or graduation date for students. That's outrageous. On top of all that, all the students arrive here without their memories. You get that? They don't remember anything. You ask, where am I? Who am I? Then some guy you don't know gives you some offhand explanation like, this is a school. Y'all are students. Happiness and management. Why does this guy give an explanation sound so? I know, right? On top of all that, we have no idea what's going to happen after graduation. Nothing interesting like the learning coming back to living. And my retort was completely ignored. Faced with her unexpectedly idiotic personality, I instinctively shrink back. Just as I thought, there is just no way to completely understand what a person is like just by analyzing them from first impressions. I immediately regret my decision to be friendly with her. I saw something like this in one of the movies in the library. In the movie, there's an isolated, overprotective facility just like the school, and the kids are living there are actually clones who, in the end, get gutted for the original organs transplants. What do you think about this theory, Ishiro? Don't you like don't you think the idea that's actually a clone manufacturing facility gets a mysterious academy like this well? Well, it's true. There's a lot of things that are still students. Well, I stare at Cassie and consider, well, let's not get into the details. I shrug my shoulders. fucking face! Her face is great. She strikes her fist on her palm. It seems she didn't realize that. Jeez, what a carefree. Now say this academy is actually a clone manufacturing plant. It would actually give hints to students by putting DVDs about clones in the library. You don't know that. Perhaps they thought it through and decided it would be better to include it. There's no way to completely hide the truth, so perhaps they put it there so anything that feels out of place doesn't feel odd anymore. So, there's a point, but unfortunately, Cassie, this academy is nothing more than an educational institution. It was founded by the God, that is, for students like you to graduate. Do you believe in God, issue? You mean you don't, Cassie? Didn't you learn about it in class? Ever since the start of the current era, humans have been managed by the God, that is. Yeah, I did, but I haven't ever seen God. I can't really believe something that I can't see, can't understand, and can't feel. I didn't expect you to say something so rational. Is that so? I believe in institutions, but I don't believe in baseless predictions or imaginary nonsense. Oh, come on, would you just tell me that this academy is actually a clone manufacturing plant? No, that was my intuition. I arrived at the conclusion after my sixth sense told me. This academy is weird. Besides, science fiction is liable to believe in something like God. Say that really convinced me, but I don't really hate how you're a rebel and don't believe in God. I still can't bring myself to hate it. After all, that's exactly how my sister used to be. Well, if there is one thing I can tell you as a teacher of this academy, it's that this institution exists so girls can be happy. Nothing more, nothing less. It doesn't make you back for anything. I feel bad that the thought crossed my mind, but closing the fact would have been much more productive and wonderful for our society. However, such a facility would be illegal. There is no way one could possibly exist in perfectly controlled world. In our world now, there exists nothing that the country, the law, the existence that's hailed as the God that is, does not approve of. The control over our world is that extensive. Really though, you're more of a cheerful person than I thought. You just implicitly called me gloomy. Well, that's just the impression I got when I first saw you in the classroom. Don't mind it too much. You just made it explicit. First impressions are very important, you know. Well, don't worry about it. This is no joke. That really hurt my feelings. I'm sorry. I'm relieved that you're so cheerful now. Yeah, me too. I'm relieved that you aren't as weird as I thought you were from your introduction. Well, I wonder about that. I think we haven't known each other long enough for you to tell what kind of person you are. I'm a pretty sensible person. So, I can get a good idea of the kind of person someone is just by spending a couple hours with you. Well, with this much information, it's not that hard to get a read on something. Well, I think that it's, in its own way, makes you kind of question the person. I would say that's just being rash. By the time I realized the sun was already hanging somewhat low. Since spring has just begun, it's still pretty bright out. But school is probably going to be there. Yeah, I'm not going to use my laptop clicker anymore. My mouse because I'm sitting with an elbow on this glass desk or something. Guess I should get to the point. Okay, by the way, Cassie, do you remember what I told you when we got here? That you'll be the teacher responsible for this? Yeah, that's right, which means we're going to interact with each other a lot like this. That's all. Looking forward to you working with you. You don't sound very serious. She shakes her head in disappointment and sighs. Well, let's get serious then. From now on, your problems are my problems. If you need anything, just come and ask me. I'll worry about it with you, work it out with you, and in the end, I'll conk out with you, looking lame. I'm not going to depend on anyone who's going to conk out with me. Just kidding. Well, I'm not sure how dependable of a person I am when needed. But let's just at least get along, something like that. Something like that, is it? Yeah, well, let's call it a day here. Head back to your room and relax, okay? What about you, Ishiro? What are you going to do now? If you don't have anything better to do, let's hang out until the evening. Just when I was going to head back inside the cabin, she took my sleeve. Plugged down and find her looking up at me with eyes that abandoned. See how pure of heart she is, I can't help but smile. It makes me want to tease her just out of curiosity. What's the matter, feeling lonely? Yeah, I am. head back to the door by yourself. An innocent little counter. I start scampering away toward the academy as if to escape before she can push me. Needless to say, I'm not embarrassed at all. This is true. I'm simply ashamed of myself. That's all there is to it. Although the school building is usually bustling with students coming and going, now that the school has ended, it exudes a sense of loneliness and solemnity. I ended up walking casserole to the doors, and on the way to the floor with the principal's office, I spot a familiar face. Before I can decide whether to say hi to him or not, he casually greets me. Yo, how did it go with casserole? It's Cassie. That's what I'm calling her. I'm calling her Cassie. I guess you two hit it off then. And how are things going on your end? That's a stupid thing to ask. I may not look it, but I get along with people younger than me pretty well. Nah, I can tell that. By the way, I also think of you as the kind of guy who's always hitting on girls. Just my gut feeling, though. Trying to laugh it off, huh? This guy is too unpredictable. It's just too hard to tell what he's thinking. He looks like a serious person who's fully committed to his work, but he might be a lot more eccentric than he looks. In a bad way, that is. I mean, seriously. Ever since I met him, he's been driving me nuts. You two are right on time. A few meters ahead of us, Mr. Suji is standing in front of the principal's office. My initial impression is that he's a very deadpan person, but I still haven't managed to get a good read on what kind of person he is. It seems everything is going well between you and your students. Oh my, Mr. Suji, were you telling us? I am taking up my silly attitude once again to feel him out. Of course not. I talked to Oro Zester about how Casserole and Mincer are holding up just now. It seems both of them are happier now than they were this morning. He responds calmly. He doesn't react at all to my attitude. It feels like he's trying to avoid dealing with my attitude rather than me as a person. It must be because I acted the same way this morning. I guess I won't be getting anything out of him with his personality. So there are a few things I need to warn you two about before your little chat with the principal. Judging by his exaggerated intonation when he said the word chat, I can already tell that this is going to be serious. I guess I really should raise my guard. I'm sure you know this already, Mr. Yamada, but no jokes don't work on her. If you are anything less than serious, you're going to be very sorry. He's absolutely right. And also, this doesn't change the fact that you're still inside the academy. Whatever she asks of you, do not forget that. That's all. Enjoy your conversation with her. With that, Mr. Suji walks away. It seems he was really waiting here just to give us that advice. Though unexpected, I suppose he's the type of guy to look after others. Guess that's kind of rude. Is she really that bad? As Mr. Suji's footsteps fade into the distance, Lang asks me uncomfortably, well, anyone would feel uneasy if they were warned so abruptly. Even I get the jitters whenever I think of the first time I met her. After all, she is like the second most fearful existence in this world. Well, you'll understand once you talk to her a little. You better take that part about how you'll be sorry and if you mess around in front of her seriously too. I chuckle sarcastically and put my hand on the principal's office doorknob. Fuck. I take a deep breath and yell, I love you, Matsuri! Hey. Immediately afterwards, I open the door. I bow lightly in accordance with business matters, then I pretend as though nothing has happened. Of course, I also shifted the tone of my voice and composure to calm my low-key persona. Excuse me. Excuse me. Inorganic. That word very sufficiently describes this white room. Without paying any attention to Lang, who entered the room after me, the girl in charge of the room keeps staring at me with cold, deadpan eyes. Just as I thought, it didn't have the slightest effects on her mechanical poker face. What a shame. What's the matter, Matsuri? Just some minor trifles, Ishiro. I used to think that out of all the people in the world, you understood me the best. I just noticed that I was mistaken. My apologies. It seems she thought quite highly of me. Whether I should be happy about that or not is a separate matter. Well, fine. We will consider this settled with just your finger joint. Oh, that's it? Even I know that you're not the kind of person to do something this outrageous without having thought it through first. For just an instant, Matsuri glances at mine. I'm not sure I understand. I smile and shrug my shoulders. Well, it's fine, since you love me, apparently. I will forgive you as long as you promise from the bottom of your heart that you will not let me down again. I will do my best. Hold the third joint of my index finger and following the principle of levers, dislocate it with a... What? I feel a sharp burning pain in my eyes. My clenching teeth grind, emitting noise that causes my head to hurt even more. That sharp, painful sensation fills my... Why would you fucking dislocate your finger, you... Why? It's fine, I'm okay. I stretch my other arm out to stop Lang, who hurried over to me. That's enough. Yes. Hold my breath and pull my dislocated finger back in the other direction to bring it back. I can feel cold sweat dripping down my body. The early spring weather is cool and comfortable, and yet I can feel the backside of my shirt completely drenched with sweat. This may sound strange coming from me, but your self-loathing personality and death-seeking will be your own undoing one day. Thank you very much. This is no laughing matter. You are an exceptionally foolish person. I am very aware of how much of a fool I am. And I am the boring type whose foolish actions are no laughing matter. I am not sane, but I am not out of my mind. I am not smart, but I am not dumb either. Not capable of seeing anything through and thoroughly disgusted. I guess I am just that kind of miserable fellow. We got rather off topic thanks to Shiro, but I would like to have a chat with you two tonight. Have meals ready for us on another floor. Let's head over. Swiftly, Matsuri stands up and walks out of the office, leaving Lang and I standing there. After a brief moment, the two of us hurry to follow her. I tap the astonished Lang on the shoulder and whisper into his ear. You saw that? There really is no joking with her. You idiot. Ow. Unreservedly, he pinches me in the side. The resulting sharp pain is no worse than I felt earlier. Painful beyond the words can describe, it causes me to gasp for air. You goddamn masochist. You might think that you're giving me advice, but that was sick. Unwelcome favor. Don't you dare do something like that again. I don't really feel happy about a guy hurting. Stop! I quietly yell and shrug Lang's hand off. Walking ahead of us, Matsuri does not appear to care. It seems that she turns a blind eye to minor trifles that do not concern her. Fucking four eyes, do you enjoy torturing others? Shut up, what are you, nuts? Anyway, that kind of demonstration is just unpleasant. Even I don't enjoy watching a friend suffer. Friend? You mean the two of us? I can't help but overreact. It has been several years since I had last heard that word. Feeling suspicious, I stare at his eyes. They are dead serious. It seems this guy really thinks of me as his friend. We haven't even known each other for a day yet, even though we haven't discussed anything of significance. It looks like this guy is actually angry because he cares about me. What, you have a problem with this? No, not really. I'm sorry. Acting all modest all of a sudden? What's with you? Well, fine, as long as you understand. He says and taps my shoulder. Well, damn, this guy is exactly the kind of person I have trouble dealing with. I look in front of us and find Matsuri standing still. She has an odd expression in the place of her usual straight face. What the fuck? Well, how should I say this? I don't really mind two guys making out, but we're... What the fuck? We're not making out? I guess calling this a fun little chat actually describes this pretty well. Inside the room there are 3 extravagant sets of dinner laid out on a dining table. Sit down anywhere you want. If you two want to sit closer to each other, well, feel free to move your seats. No, that is really just a misunderstanding. There's a very high chance that she actually believed it. Better get something this bad straightened out as soon as possible. Ah, okay. Yeah, I get it. Just sit down there. Just as she raises her chin to point at us at our seats, Lang and I hurriedly sit down at the table. Matsuri pulls out a chair and sits down. Then without so much as a toast, she looks straight at Lang. Lang. That's what your name is, right? I've heard a lot of good things about you from your university. I'm expecting a lot out of you. Thank you very much. So, I want to ask you once again why someone as distinguished as you chose this line of work. Why I chose this job, huh? The rich aroma of the meals on the table tickles my nose as if it is making a mockery of the tense atmosphere of the room. None of us reach for our glasses, causing droplets of condensation to drip down their sides. How is this supposed to be a fun little chat? You mentioned you adore your brother. Isn't he living by himself back in your hometown? Since we are isolated from the outside world here, it's going to be very hard for you to visit him. Knowing that, why did you choose to work here? She smiles faintly. It is not the kind of smile that is most likely a byproduct of amusement. It feels very sadistic to me. There's no doubt about it. Matsuri is suspicious of Lang. We aren't like a couple who just started going out. He's someone who I have lived with for years. Fuck. We aren't going to feel lonely just because we aren't around each other. Really? I can't say I understand. I think that's probably because you don't have family or anyone you love. Oh. The atmosphere of the room is getting tenser. Having been clenching my fists under the table, my fingernails clawed deep into my palms. Lang, you shouldn't say things like that to Matsuri of all people. Droplets of cold sweat dripped down my back. It's true I don't have any family, but that doesn't quite mean I don't love anyone. For real? Do you have a problem with that? No, not at all. I lower my head to avoid her glare. Matsuri is someone she loves? That might just be the biggest surprise I've had in the past couple months. So she's not just a machine that's totally focused on work. If you actually love someone, if you understand how they feel, then don't you think it shouldn't worry you, whatever they do? All we really need to do is help the people we love out when they really need our help. They may not like it, but as long as the outcome is in their best interest, I think I'd do whatever it takes. I think that's what love is. It has nothing to do with how frequently we meet or how far apart we physically are. If you are worried about that, it just means your feelings for each other aren't strong enough. I see. I think I understand your concept of love very well. You seem to think that serving whom you love while asking for nothing in return is quite admirable as well. However, if you look at it in another light, you are just being apathetic. And that begs the question, does your brother think of this the same way as you do? You say you'd lend him a helping hand if you think that is what he needs. But is that really what your brother wants? Perhaps what he wants is something much more simple. The way I see it, you are just forcing what you think is love on him. It's just your way to disguise your apathy. You think it is the best approach, but what do you base that on? I don't know. But I thought I should take this job and support him in place of my parents. And that's why I made my decision. Lang made me dumbfounded, but the answer he gave carries weight. Perhaps he just can't believe you just said that. Said I don't know, perhaps he mortified. He looks very sullen. I don't know, you say. What a laughable answer. I forgive you, though. Honesty is an admirable virtue, and I've taken a liking to you for how honest you are. Having strength of will is important. However, if you really think your brother's happiness is what's truly important to you, I suggest you be more thoughtful. Don't just always put yourself first. Darn. We got pretty off topic. Enough about your brother. I know you aren't lying now, and also that genuine stupidity is why you equate hurting your family with their happiness. Seems like her doubts about him have been resolved. I felt myself back from touching the food on the table, and just as I thought she would say the word cheers now. Lang, I think you are a kind man. What, you mean he's the only kind man here? I silently retort within my mind. Yet why this line of work? This doesn't change the fact that you are still inside the academy, I recall Mr. Suji's warning. I don't act kind to everyone. To me, the word kindness simply means to live on for my brother's sake. Nothing else in the world matters. I see, that's not a bad answer at all, and it's wonderful to have a strong conviction. I'll trust in that malicious part of you, for now at least. This may feel uncalled for, but let me give you one final word of advice. Kindness may not always be the most benevolent. Always be careful not to lose sight of what will bring you the best outcome. Be sure not to do anything that will make your little brother sad. Thank you very much. Well then, this is a little late, but cheers. Matsuri says, standing up from her seat and heads for the door. Huh? Aren't you going to eat? I still have quite a bit of work to do. It was pretty fun just to sit around at the table with you two. The two of you can, well, do whatever you want now. I don't judge. What the fuck? We told you already, you're mistaken! Jesus Christ, man. She disappears behind the door, leaving the two of us pleading our innocence in vain. Well, anyway, let's eat. Yeah. The clanking of our knives and forks echo inside the room. With the two of us overly conscious of each other, the room is filled with a bizarrely gloomy aura. Why do I need to be so nervous about being here with another guy? This is so unbearable, I think I might cry. That reminds me, was I really needed in that conversation just now? And we are finished with chapter 1, guys. Whew. I don't know, this story is kind of, you're probably not going to get like a big sense of like where this is going at first. I like the aspect how it like kind of like drags on and it kind of gets you more drawn into the story. Yeah, I think this here is probably one of my favorite visual novels that I've done so far. Keep in mind that I have like a lot more than I need to do. Of course you got all the Sakura series and all that, but I have a couple more as well, like not just this one. And this one's actually quite interesting. And I really look forward to chapter 2, and hopefully you guys do as well. But I'm going to go ahead and save the game here. And that is the end of today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, hit that like button, leave a comment in the comment section down below. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're brand new to my channel, because every little bit helps. It's just a click away, it's completely free, and you get notified whenever I have a new video out. So, until the next time, please stay tuned, and peace out, you guys.